Oh, hi. I didn't see you there. Because you're not in the same room as me. This isn't Super Mario World. I'm so sorry about that. Let's play Super Mario World. I'm probably going to mislead you at some point in the future, Ninja. Not today, then. Oh, look at that. I have one file conveniently available for another 96 star. I'm just going to let this be on the screen for a minute. Not for any real reason, just, yeah. Well, you say kind enough. It might be actually a really cruel thing to say I'm going to mislead you at some point. Because that could lead you to believing at any moment I could be misleading you. That reminds me, I want to move the chat box. That's better. I'm going to assume that, based upon your words of Architect, you are concordantly speaking about the previously mentioned Architect of The Matrix Reloaded. Vis-a-vis, I take it to mean you mean that specific Architect? I don't remember any of the other big words he uses, so I'm going to stop now. So, we're playing this on the Super Nintendo Mini, as you can see, with its 21 games. You know, this really nice idea Nintendo had. And then put out in limited numbers, not as limited as the NES Mini, but, you know, limited enough. And now they're no longer in production, and they won't put out another mini system, even though this was a good idea. Such a good idea that Sega followed suit, Sony followed suit, and Konami followed suit. With the Mega Drive Mini, the PlayStation Mini, and the TurboGrafx 16 Mini, respectively. Yeah, I've beaten this game twice on here because it's awesome. And also, playing it on the Super Nintendo Mini means I can use the Super Nintendo controller. Most of my viewers are American, which means that you generally haven't seen the European Super Nintendo controller. So I will get a picture of it for you. Oh, the entire thing was a cash grab. Sega's was a cash grab as well, it's just Sega actually put effort into it. Well, it's not that we had a different controller, it's that you had a different controller, because we had the same controller as Japan. So, let me, again, move that while I remember. Yeah, that should be good, and... there we go, that. With the coloured buttons. Whereas America just had the two shades of purple, which was not appealing. You guys also got the big blocky Super Nintendo, we got the Super Famicom style. And the reason we got the Super Famicom style is because we couldn't import Japanese games anyway, because of the difference in power in refresh rates on TV. I don't remember what my first Super Nintendo game was. And I remember growing up with this, and A Link to the Past, and Super Castlevania 4, and Donkey Kong Country. I had Alien 3 for some reason. Alright, so... let's get going. To be fair, I'll still defend the assembly cut as a decent movie. If I'm gonna do DKC, I'm gonna make sure Bane's here, because he's been asking me to do that game for a while. Yeah, I had Mario All-Stars as well, and then at a later point I had the All-Stars Plus World Collection. So I've done a few platformers on my channel, on the YouTube channel. 2D platform-wise. I did the Aladdin game on Super Nintendo, which is pretty fun. But I've not done any 2D Mario games. I've done Sonic 1 and Sonic 2. And admittedly, I'm not very good at classic Sonic. Super Mario World's my shit. I can do Super Mario World. So we're gonna do Super Mario World. We're gonna 96 star this baby. Of course, we always start by going Yellow Switch Palace. Bam! There it is. So Super Mario World is really fun, and in recent years, I've kind of really lost interest in the Mario platformers. Like, I've got New Super Mario Bros. U on the Wii U. I've never finished it. It kind of bores me. But I can go through Super Mario World so many times. It might be nostalgia, it might be just that it's so fucking good. Hey, Teak. And the first appearance of Yoshi! Is Bane here? Bane is not here, unfortunately. If Bane was here, I was gonna have him keep track of how many times I kill Yoshi. Meh. Yeah, I don't know, I mean, the new Super Mario Bros. Games play fine. Yoshi's a green dinosaur. Oh, I was gonna have the death counter going, Ninja. But if you want to keep track of it in your head, sure, go for it. Boom. Yeah, the new Super Mario Brothers games. I had New Super Mario Brothers DS. It was one of 2 DS games I got when I got my DS. I got New Super Mario Brothers DS and Star Wars Lethal Alliance. And they're both solid enough games. And I ran through that like twice. Once as Mario, once as Luigi. That's actually a good point. Let's show that off. When you're on Yoshi, every single track in the game gets a drum beat added to it. I love variable mixes like that. And I always really appreciate it when a game has a variable mix. One of my favourite things about Skies of Arcadia, in boss fights, depending on how well you're doing, the music will change. But yeah, I ran through New Super Mario Bros. DS a couple of times. I did New Super Mario Bros. Wii once on co-op with my dad. I haven't beaten New Super Mario Bros. 2 or New Super Mario Bros. U, and I kind of don't have the interest. There were a few games that did it pretty well on Nintendo 64. The one that really stands out for me is Dia Dia Docks and Jolly Roger Bay in Super Mario 64. You know, I never considered it immersion breaking. I considered it as a case of, oh yeah, we're getting back in it. Chances are you're not going to see a death for quite a while, Ninja. In fact, this is one of the best places to farm lives early in the game. Yep. So it's 8 enemies, and then you start getting lives. And I'm going to leave it at that because we're at 20. I'll probably show off the bonus game at least once. Ah, yeah, the connecting to the online stuff. They should really just give you an option to buy the games on Switch. Oh yeah, we're going to Top Secret Zone. We have to if we're doing the 96 star. First auto-scroller of the game. Lemmy Cooper. For some reason in Super Mario World, all of the Koopalings have different colours from every other appearance. I think that's Lemmy. I'm sure it's Lemmy. Iggy, of course. I always get Iggy and Lemmy confused. Larry has the blue hair. Although in this, God knows what colour it'll be. Roy and Morton are similar, but Roy has glasses. Ludwig has unique hair, and Wendy's a girl. Alright. Iggy was keeping them for his attack on Yoshi Island. Okay. Thank you. Skip all of that. Thank you. Get another life. If you've never finished Super Mario World before, the destruction of the castles is going to be a fun thing for you to see. There we go. Yeah, I guess you're right. But shades are a kind of glasses. Can I get another backup feather? There we go. Cape Feather, the single most broken item in Mario history. If you know how to time it, you can actually completely break the level by flying. So let's actually show this off. Damn. Ooh. Ah. Ah. Flying with the cape, it took me a little while to get down, but there is a specific timing to it that's a lot easier than you think. Thinking about it, I'm probably never going to actually show it off. No. So I'll go this way because I do want the Switch Palace. You guys see the chat on screen, or is the colour a problem? Wait a minute. I never switched back to 4x3. There we go. Alright, thanks, Ninja. I think this is one of the worst levels in the game that you need to do twice for 100% completion, because it's an auto-scroller. Yeah, it's always one of the problems. I'm just looking at it right now, and it looks like it's blended into a lot of stuff, but I do have the feed smaller than you guys will. Gotcha. Just gonna skip that. Bam. So the intention here is to climb up there. Blue shell with a Yoshi gives it wings. And we're out of there. Green Switch Palace. This one is actually one of the trickier ones to get right. Got it wrong. Don't get an extra life. Oh well. I'll have to console myself with the 24 lives I already have. Well, the green blocks give you a feather. Like, the yellow blocks give you a mushroom, the green blocks give you a feather. I like the Super Nintendo controller. It kind of rubs against my finger the wrong way because of the way I hold it these days, but it's a nice controller. Yeah, the Cape Feather is the single most broken power-up. It's kind of weird they never brought it back. Like, Nintendo went into this whole thing of nostalgia horror in Super Mario 3, so we ended up with the Tanuki Leaf back a bunch of times. But the new Super Mario Bros. Series, for the most part, has had really lackluster power-ups. I like the shell, the blue shell you can get in New Super Mario Bros. DS, but I know a bunch of people don't. The Ice Flower and Penguin Suit, I think, are really shit. What else is there? There's the coin star in New Super Mario Bros. 2. The Ice Flower in Super Mario Galaxy is really good. It's kind of disappointing in Super Mario Galaxy that they didn't do more with it because it's really cool. Oh yeah, no, I don't like the propeller suit. The Cloud Flower is again Super Mario Galaxy. Like, the Ice Flower, great in Super Mario Galaxy, not so much in New Super Mario Bros. I count the Mario Galaxy games as basically just Mario Galaxy. Because let's be fair, Mario Galaxy 2 is only like half a new game, the rest of it is Mario Galaxy 1 again. That's a balloon, you'll never see me use one. Yeah, I don't like the propeller suit either. Should have Rip Van Fishy. I don't think the propeller suit is as broken as the Cape Feather, though. You can activate the propeller suit from basically any position. But if you can get the running start with the Cape Feather, you can basically go the entire way, and you can still float with it. The balloon there takes you up, and then you come back down again. You can grab some coins, and that's kind of it. The balloon later on is way less optimal than using anything else. What we want, there is a point in the game in one of the secret levels where the balloon is the intended method forward, but if you do it right, you can just use a blue Yoshi and skip all of that. And it is so much easier. Brown. You bastard. Yeah, I'm not getting that back. This could get nasty. Watch out, fuck knuckle there. On Yoshi death. Thank you, Ninja. To be fair, that one wasn't intentional on my part. But add it to the counter. The Super Nintendo Mini is really good. It is a shame that Nintendo doesn't make it actively available now. So I did that specifically because the secret exit of this ghost house requires a cape feather, and it was just the easiest method of getting one. One of those lives disappeared. How far are we? Like half an hour in. Yeah, Super Nintendo Mini is great for playing some of these old games. Top secret area! Like Star said. And we're off. I don't know, I think it's well enough hidden. Well, yeah, but hooking a Super Nintendo over to a modern TV can be kind of a pain. Trying to get good video output out of old systems is one of the biggest problems with playing old systems. Yeah, let me just ignore the entire puzzle of this ghost house. There we go. I mean, I spent a bunch of time, effort, and money getting decent video outputs for my Nintendo 64, Dreamcast, and PS2. Yeah, I don't think I ever saw anything like that on a TV show. But then gaming was kind of a no-no on TV for us as kids for some reason. It's all a case of go outside, don't play video games. Yep. Grab this. You know about the hero turtles, do you? And that's an exit. Yeah, it's one of those things that you just... I've known so much of this for so long, I don't know how I first found out about it. And I don't remember it ever being a problem. Because I've just know it's been a part of my life for such a long time. Yeah, the Hero Turtles was like one of the weirdest things. As part of Thatcher's Britain, ninjas were just a taboo for some reason. Like, it's really weird, it's specifically like ninjas and nunchucks. Yep. Makes this door appear, and we have a boss fight against a Big Boo. They ported this to the Game Boy Advance, like they ported several Super Nintendo games. And the Game Boy Advance version is definitely harder. Not because it's actually harder, but because of the screen crunch, you can see less of the screen. Yeah, you know what it's like. Censors don't care about actual characters, you just care about appearances. Yeah. So we just got our first look at Star World. We'll be doing that way later. The Game Boy Advance version is a fine version to play. It's just harder because of the screen crunch. The Game Boy Advance version of A Link to the Past is also a little harder, but it's not as hard. The biggest problem I have with the screen crunch for Super Mario World on the Game Boy Advance is the, because the way it works, often you can't see platforms that you should be able to see. Like here, if you were playing the Game Boy Advance version, when you're on the top at the left there, you wouldn't see the platform at the bottom right here. You'd have to move down to see it. And that can make it really tricky in specific areas. Shifting right to left? I'm not entirely sure what you mean, Teak. We also just got our first look at the Valley of Bowser, the final world. I'm the bad guy. Oh, you know Bowser, he's pretty vain. There we go. Oh, you can do that in this version. Yeah, that wasn't too bad, actually. It's more useful in the Game Boy Advance version, but you can do it in this version. You most commonly... you don't tend to see it a lot from people playing this version. You most commonly see it from speedrunners. Because if you move the screen to the right at specific points, enemies will load in sooner. There's a particular castle where you can use it to cause potaboos to load in faster. It's random. I have used an emulator and save states to try and figure it out, and it's random. It's either random or timed. But I don't think it's timed. I think it is literally just random. It's like I can go under one... I could show it off, actually, since we're doing this on Super Nintendo Mini. I have to find another one, though. Damn it. A little too soon, though. Throwing hammers! So these are called Goombas. They're basically not. For one, they don't die when you stand on them. They returned eventually years later in another Mario game under the name Galoombas. So can I get the secret here? So this one's actually kind of tricky to pull off. There we go. Managed to unload the Thwimp. Okay, so I will create a save state. Okay, and we will load that save state. See? I'm glad I didn't have to do that multiple times to show off my point. I'm not entirely sure how it works, but considering how easy lives are to get in this game, it's not really a big deal. Yeah, it's cool. I'm just glad it went through so quick. Ah, shit. Damn it. The only way to really kill a dry bones in this game. Please don't take 15 minutes. Sonic on the Game Gear. I've never played Sonic on Game Gear, but the Game Gear version I do know is a port of the Master System version. So it does share the same problem, it's screen crunch. Like, you play Sonic on Game Gear, and it's specifically the same game, just with a smaller screen. Kind of a shame, because I know Sonic on the Master System is actually a decent game. Sonic 2 on the Master System isn't a decent game, but Sonic 1 on the Master System is pretty good. But most people will have played it through the Game Gear, which is a shame. Pancake. So now we're in Vanilla Dome. We'll go right first. Okay, here we go. Ah, shit. Gotta love that classic Super Nintendo slowdown. Oh, jeez. That sounds pretty bad. Did you ever play Sonic Genesis on Game Boy Advance? Because, like, that's an interesting thing that not enough people know about. Sonic the Hedgehog Genesis. Is Yoshi gonna swallow before we end? No. Yeah, Sonic Genesis on Game Boy Advance, Sonic the Hedgehog Genesis. not a lot of people are really aware of it. It's a port of Sonic 1 to Game Boy Advance for Sonic's 15th anniversary. A lot of people consider Sonic 06 to be the worst game that came out for Sonic's 15th anniversary. But you could argue, since like Sonic 06 is an original product, Sonic Genesis is Sonic 1, and Sonic 1 was good at one point. And Sonic Genesis is absolute garbage. So poorly handled, so clearly rushed. And there's so many problems with it. It's really worth a look. It's so funny to see. It's just a thing of like Sonic Team and Sega putting out such garbage for years for Sonic. Like Clover Studio puts out Okami, and Okami doesn't sell well, but you know, Sega and Sonic Team can just keep putting out garbage and it's fine. They can keep making money and stay employed. But no, Clover Studios has to shut down because God Hand didn't sell well. Sonic garbage. Much easier. Yeah, some of the problems with Sonic Genesis include beyond its... They developed it, jeez. I wasn't sure if they actually developed it. Because I'm thinking of stuff like, if you've ever seen Mortal Kombat Advance, which is a really bad port of I think it's Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 to Game Boy Advance, and it is probably one of the worst Mortal Kombat games. But it wasn't handled by Midway or the team that made the Mortal Kombat games. It was farmed out to some random developer. Yeah, like one of the best examples of one of the problems with Sonic Genesis, beyond the fact that its frame rate is all over the place. Like, you know, there goes your blast processing, Sonic can't even stay at a stable 30, never mind 60. But, like the first boss fight with Robotnik, with the checkered ball that he swings left and right, you don't even have to jump on the platforms, because the way they've handled the screen crunch, Robotnik doesn't fly high enough, so you can just hit him from the ground. And it's the same with the seesaw boss, where you've got to bounce the balls back at him, the spiked balls. It's the same with a bunch of them. The way they handled the screen crunch was really bad. You know, I kind of disagree with you, Teak. There are some really good fighting games on handheld. Like, not even talking about when you got to the DS or the PSP. Because, like, the DS has some good fighting games, the PSP has some good fighting games, some good ports of fighting games as well. But, like, there was some good stuff on Game Boy Advance. Street Fighter Alpha 3 on Game Boy Advance is actually pretty good. Killer Instinct on Game Boy is surprisingly good. Mortal Kombat 2 on Game Boy is pretty good. Like, there's some good stuff there. I mean, yeah, it's the kind of thing you wouldn't want to go back to now, but it's one of those things, like, if you'd got it as a kid, you probably would have been pretty happy with it. Especially, you know, with how much garbage was on Game Boy anyway. The big problem here is the flight that the cape's gonna give me. There we go, now I just need the switch. Yes! I said, like, there are some pretty decent handheld fighting game ports, and then there are some absolutely garbage ones. And people know about Mortal Kombat Advance as being really bad. A lot of people don't know about Mortal Kombat 4 on Game Boy Color. Like... And the fun thing with that is Mortal Kombat 2 and Mortal Kombat 3 weren't actually that bad on Game Boy. But then they put Mortal Kombat 4 on Game Boy Color and it is trash. Yeah. Eh. That said though, like the DS and PSP did have some pretty solid fighting games. Bleach? The Blade of Fate was actually a pretty good fighting game on the DS. Bleach Dark Souls was pretty good. The sequel to Blade of Fate. Mortal Kombat Unchained was a feature-packed port of Mortal Kombat Deception for PSP. It had 6 extra characters. 4 extra characters if you came from the GameCube version, because it did include Shao Kahn and Goro. And it had everything else that Mortal Kombat Deception had. Pretty neat. And that was one of the coolest things in like the earlier days of the PSP, that the PSP got full console games. I'm not gonna go for the bonus game again. And this stage is probably the first time Nintendo sat down and thought, what if Mario was a bullet hell? Have this. Bullshit. Yep. Excuse me, sir, could you come down here for a minute? Ah, you bitch. Damn it. Yeah, he just didn't want to cooperate. We'll have to do this the old-fashioned way. Checkpoints didn't exist on the NES. To be fair, I wasn't after it because it's a checkpoint, I was after it because if you go through a checkpoint in Small Mario, you immediately become Super Mario. Or the savior stop. Yeah, going through a checkpoint in Small Mario instantly makes you Super Mario. That's the canonical name, Super Mario. Goodies. Oh, this is this stage. Heck. Now we play the waiting game. There we go. let's go. Fuck you! Dick. Damn it. Wanted that. Do this the hard way. You know, some people play, when they stream, they play games they're actually good at. We're coming up to the 1 year anniversary next month, and you're finally seeing a game that I'm actually good at. Taking us a while. Of course, now that I've said that, I'm going to screw this up. It also doesn't help I'm a risk taker by nature. Ah, you missed some of the other streams. Well, thank you, Ninja. That's nice of you to say. It does. Ninja, if Ninja wasn't there, those streams didn't actually happen. Okay. God damn it. Oh, thanks for just being there. It's a good time. It's like I'm competent at a lot of games. I'm good at Super Mario World. No, it isn't. I'm gonna say, I think this might be the first appearance of Mario with a hammer. But then I realised what an idiot I am, because Mario had a hammer in Donkey Kong, the first game he appeared in. Alright, 1, 2, 3 more levels, and then we go back. If you have a Yoshi here, you can actually do all of this really easily. It's the only power-up in... Wait, no, there's the Parasol, isn't there? I don't play Donkey Kong that much. I'm not all that into arcade games. But yeah, if you have a Yoshi and you go into this, you can actually... a Yoshi and a cape feather. You can run, jump, and glide your way all the way across, landing at the exact right spots to keep going. It's amazing. I can't really blame you there, Ninja. That said, though, if you were interested in the first Donkey Kong, I would direct you to the Game Boy Color not the Game Boy. It has a Super Game Boy Color palette. The Game Boy version. The Game Boy version of the original Donkey Kong is fantastic, and has a shit ton of extra levels. It's like original Donkey Kong's like 4 levels. And Donkey Kong on Game Boy fools you into thinking that that's it. It's just the 4 levels. But then you finished off those 4 levels, and it's like, oh yeah, no, tricked you, there's actually another 99. And it's amazing. And it turns into this really good puzzle platform again. Really, the Donkey Kong on Game Boy. Best way to play original Donkey Kong. Except no substitutes. Gotcha. Thank you. Oh, bam. This way, and then this way. Dick. Right. The best way. Oof. First death. The fire for those things is actually deceptive in how long it'll stick around. Take this, it'll make things simpler for me. Never mind. Yeah, Yoshi's only died once. We've left him behind. I think once. But death-wise, Yoshi has only died once. There he is. Oh, this is like the one pipe I didn't want. Go for that one. Fucking loaves of bread. Yeah. Mind me, I'm going. Yoshi! Yoshi! Yeah. Okay, let me see if I can get this right. There it is. And try again for the second layer. Yes! It looks so good when you get that right. Thank you, Ninja. And now we have to do this level again. And we have a cape and a Yoshi, so I can show off what I was talking about before. Okay, so what we do is there's a specific point we need to jump from. Not there. I wasn't paying the right amount of attention. Alright. Bada bing. Ready to put another Yoshi death on. Hey. You. You and you. There it is. You can use the cape feather for that, specifically because you have to go under the goalpost. But it is way easier to do with Yoshi. And this is one of the trickier underwater levels, because this is the only water level to have torpedo heads. So watch out for those. I committed no crimes. Yoshi isn't recognized as a sentient being. Prime Directive was not violated. The hitbox on Torpedoed Heads when they're coming out can be pretty deceptive. And areas like this, don't take the upper path, because you'll get hit. There we go, that was trickier thought. Well, Yoshi is a dinosaur. The real trick with Torpedoed Heads is when they're let go, they drop down lower than you think they will. It's another level. It's like an hour. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they only appear in that level. That's the third entrance to Star World. Star Road. No, it's Star World. Star Road takes you to Star World. I say third specifically because the second one is here, and we've not got it yet. Now we go back. Take a different path. Yeah, I'm gonna grab you. And you'll make this easier. Actually get rid of these. Ain't gonna make any difference, what am I thinking? The intended route up here is for you to get the red switch, and then climb the stairs. You can do this on the first time through with the Yoshi just by using the blue shell. Yeah, Torpedoed Heads, I think, only appear in that stage, and then didn't appear for years afterwards. This stage is tricky to do with the Yoshi, but it is doable. Okay. Gotta watch out for those footballs. The bounce can be really unpredictable sometimes. And there's entrance 2 to Star World. Yeah, let's do this again. Hey, Clem. I think you missed most of the game. Nah, we're about halfway through. Boom! There it is. The hazard. Well, you've not contributed to half the game then, Clem. Was it the JoJo thing? Oh, it was gonna Jeopardy. Jeopardy's probably on later. This level, if you know what you're doing, you can end up with max lives from this level incredibly easy. If you're gonna farm lives, you should do it here. In fact, actually. Damn it. But you and you. There we go, that'll make it easier. You don't want to kill these Koopas. Being on a Yoshi makes that harder than not being on a Yoshi. You could just do this. Use Yoshi as a... I don't know, a hit. Alright, what did I miss? Yeah, it'd be interesting to seeing the JoJo riff. I mean, I know it's Yes by Roundabout, but I'm always gonna call it the JoJo riff. So if you're struggling at any point with the game, yeah, Dinosaur's Shield, you've got this switch here. What you're intended to do is step on it here, and all of these spines will turn into silver coins. What you want to do is grab it and take it back. Spit it out here and then re-eat it so Yoshi doesn't swallow it. And then this is a good location. Bam. And it will turn all the Koopas into silver coins. Yep. Best place to farm lives in the game. To be fair, it's like the best farming because you only have to do it once. Oh wow, that didn't get me to 99. Huh. Oh no, can I beat this stage in 100 seconds? Yes. Yeah, I think if I hadn't accidentally killed one of the Koopas on the way there, would have been fine. Would have hit 99 exact. So this stage has some interesting history to it. This is the Dolphin Stage. In the original Japanese version, Yoshi could eat these dolphins. And if Yoshi ate the dolphins, they didn't respawn. But in the Western versions, that was taken out. I think it might have been added back in for the Game Boy Advance version, but I'm not sure. But if you're playing the Japanese version, Yoshi can eat them and they won't respawn if you do. Which becomes kind of problematic for one of the later points of this stage, this point. I don't know what that is. There we go, simple as that. Is that a Muppet? A brand of tuna. And now we have the Water Fortress. Just dolphins. Yeah, that's a fair point. I mean, Super Mario World does have a an enemy roll call at the end, which is one of my favourite things, and I wish they'd bring those back in credits. But you are right, they are just dolphins. Alright, thanks for joining us, Ninja. If you don't make it back before we end, then thanks for joining us and take care. If you do, you're scum and you never should have left, but we'll appreciate you coming back. Take care, buddy. Watch out for those fish. Watch out for the dry bones that throw bones. I knew that was going to happen. See you later, Ninja. Take care, man. Oh, actually, this is the first fortress, isn't it? Which means this is the first time I'm going to see Trent. So, this is the boss of the fortresses, Reznor. Nintendo did admit at one point that it's named after Trent Reznor. Which is interesting because I'm pretty sure it has a different name in Japan. But now we get Butter Bridge. And Butter Bridge 1 is probably one of the hardest levels of the game. If you do Star World early, you gain the random Yoshi thing, where doing Star World gives you different colours of Yoshi, and each one has a different effect on the shell they eat. And doing Star World, I think, unlocks... Am I thinking of the Game Boy Advance version? I might be thinking of the Game Boy Advance version, never mind. There we go. Yeah, this is difficult because of that. And I think that happens a couple more times in this stage. If you don't do it right, you can have a real problem. Okay, and 1, 2, 3, nah, I didn't count. Oh well. Ugh. Yeah, that's basically what I was just doing. I don't know what guitar position is, Claim, but I'm going to assume it involves you being upside down. Watch out for those guys. Yes, it does. See, I'm intuitive with these things, I just know. Yep. It's interesting how many games early on in the Super Nintendo's lifespan had crazy slowdown. But then as you went further into the Super Nintendo's life, the slowdown kind of disappeared despite having more advanced games. It's kind of interesting. Yeah, I'm kind of like that, I guess, when I'm in a serious gaming session. Then again, how often these days do I do a serious gaming session? This is Ludwig von Koopa's castle. this can actually be a little nerve-wracking. Not that part. Come on, get past the Podoboos, run. The Koopalings are all based, the names are all taken from musicians. Larry Morton, Wendy O, Iggy Roy, Lemmy and Ludwig. The interesting thing about this, though, is this is the only unique Koopaling fight. Every other Koopaling you fight has their moves shared with another Koopaling. I hate that when he lands off screen like that, because now we have to wait for him to go into a shell and hope we can get him to land on screen. There we go. There it is. The interesting thing with the Koopalings is the names were introduced in the Western version, the American version of Super Mario Bros. 3. In the Japanese version, I don't think they had names despite having unique sprites. But then for the Japanese version of Super Mario World, they took the names from the American version of Super Mario 3. Okay, into the Forest of Illusion. Everybody's favourite location. Well, to be fair, when you're fighting creatures like the Koopalings, who look so similar anyway, the name's important to distinguish them. There we go. Get that 99th life. Yeah! Forest of Illusion isn't too bad. It's a nightmare on your first time, I imagine. Specifically because almost every level in this area has a secret exit. There's also the case of, to get the 96 star on your file, you have to get every exit. It's not do every level, it's get every exit. Which is usually what throws some people off, because they don't realise every exit counts. In quite a few levels, it's a case of redundancy more than anything else. Especially on Star Road. Damn it. Oh well. Out for those. Yep, the fake star exit's the one that just sends you back. There we go. There's also one of the exits of the ghost house here, which is incredibly redundant. How many more ghost houses? That ghost house and I think 2 more. Yeah, the Land of Bowser does have a ghost house. I think this is actually the penultimate water level in the game. No, I'm forgetting about the ghost ship. Yeah, the ghost ship definitely counts. Damn it. Come on. Yo. Of course, the best part about this is this does have a secret level. We have to do this level twice. Secret exit, we have to do this level twice. It's pretty common to see a run of Super Mario World that's trying to do it really fast because using Star Road, you can beat this game in like 15 minutes. And that's on like a casual run. Like, using Star Road, you can very casually beat this game in 15 minutes. It's a lot less common to see a 96 star run this game. Totally necessary. Alright, back at it. We'll go this way because following this path will lead us back to the ghost house anyway. I will say though, like, as pointless as a lot of 100% completion is, like, 100% in a lot of games is really pointless. Super Mario World is one of the most pointless, since 100% completion is specifically getting every exit. And a lot of those exits are really stupid. Actually, no, since we're underwater... There we go. Definitely kill that son of a bitch. I'm gonna make that. So we got the Forest of Illusion, after that comes Chocolate Island, and then the Valley of Bowser. Another hour, maybe? Of course, as we go into Star World, which we're going to do after we've done almost all of Valley of Bowser, that's when we're going to start seeing some real deaths. Actually doing a lot better than I expected on this run, since I've only died once. Alright. Go. Let's see. These are bob-ombs. They look really weird in this game. We can get to Star Road from Valley of Bowser. Made it back way before the end, Ninja. You made it sound like you'd be gone for a while. Or did I make it sound like you'd be gone for a while? I forget, somebody made it sound like you'd be gone for a while. You were never scum, Ninja. I really hate how the bubbles gimp you jump. Ah! Ah! There we go. Oh, Ninja, if you're still keeping track, we had a Yoshi death. I think we had 2 Yoshi deaths while you were gone. Just wanted me to miss the present. Well, chat got a lot quieter while you were gone. Three and 4. Yeah, I remember which ghost house. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. There you go. Whee! Go for those. The cape has some weird properties sometimes. Smart idea here is to just run. And you probably are better off not having the cape feather here. Because of the way you'll fly when you go into the full sprint. That. Okay, so there are 2 doors. Oh, you got stuck on this level? Alright, there are 2 doors. One of them is the right door, one of them is not. Fun fact, this one is not. But we need to hit it for the 96 star. Just sends you right back to the first level. And we're gonna do it again. Yeah, the Forest of Illusion be crazy, yo. You are dicks. Yep, there it is. Bounce. Grab you. You. Go! It is quite whack. Yeah, this will make this easier to deal with. Well, there are specific times where you don't actually want the cape feather. So yeah, the real exit that you want is actually the first door. Ooh. Yeah. 2 exits here, and then we only have 1 more exit to deal with. 1 more level with a multiple exit to deal with, and we already got 1 exit out of it. Thank you. Well, there goes Yoshi again. Awesome. Since we don't have Yoshi, this would probably be a good level to show off the capability of flying through an entire level. Alright, so let's get this going. If you tap left with the right rhythm, you will actually gain height. As a kid, I didn't think you could gain height. And it wasn't until years later I found out you just need the right rhythm, and you can actually totally gain height. Yep. Yeah, the cape. To be fair though, I don't usually do that. Oh. I don't usually fly through a lot of levels because I kind of just want to play the levels. Gonna get stuck on there, isn't it? You come here. There we go. Almost. There it is. And this takes us to another fortress. I think there are 3 fortresses left in the game, including this one. Which is kind of a weird thing to say, considering I've only done 1 fortress. You know, there's only 3 left, I've done 1. Alright, Forest Fortress. Say that 36 times fast. Yeah, watch it. I didn't learn for years that you can spin jump on the buzzsaws. You can spin jump on a lot of things, and I didn't know that as a kid. Doesn't make much difference, honestly. And knowing that you can spin jump on stuff. You can bet if you ever play a Mario World ROM hack though, the spin jump is going to be heavily required. Shoot. There we go. Not quite the same precision in its jumping controls as Mega Man 2, but it's fine. So here's an interesting thing. You can fly across this entire pit, it's huge. And at the end there's like, I think 10 lives, or something like that. Yeah, Mega Man 2 plays perfectly. But then Mega Man 2 is a lot tighter in its controls. I think Mario World benefits from the right amount of floatiness. Not as floaty as Mario 3, but I feel like it's the right amount of floatiness. And for that we get the 4th entrance to Star Road. And we head back into the Forest of Illusion and get the final exit. Alright. I don't need Yoshi for this, I just need to be big. It's not this pipe. Oh. Alright. This is the biggest danger, actually, to getting secret exit in this level. Go. Let me guess, you couldn't agree over whether it was the other one was blue or purple? Yeah. I always called it the blue Yoshi. I guess at a push you could argue it's a very similar shade to the GameCube. And the GameCube is referred to as Indigo. But I've always called it Blue Yoshi. To be fair, if you can't agree on the colour of the Yoshi, then you're never going to be able to play Super Mario World together as a couple. So you're probably right to just call it off. That Potaboo could be a problem. Thankfully, it just despawned. Shit. Hey, don't use that, that's a trick. It'll drop that Bowser statue. Ah, shit. I'll probably get back to 99 soon. Okay. Yep, second death of the game. I don't know, I mean, I guess the GameCube, standard GameCubes were more purple than blue. Yep. I think I always called the GameCube. They had purple. But then my GameCube was black, so it was simple. simple enough thing. Okay. Nope. That's specifically what I was talking about earlier when I said using the screen shifting to spawn stuff in earlier. Speedrunners will use it on the moving platform. Alright, we'll still be here, Clem. That is 5 of the 7 castles. All good. All good. A-okay. Oh no! If you like these castle destructions, there was an old Newgrounds Flash animation called Mario's Castle Calamity, which was essentially just a load of this stuff in various ways. And it was a lot of fun. Oh, the dinosaurs. Oh, Chocolate Island, you little bitch. The small ones are the ones you really have to watch out for. Thank you. When was the last time I played all of Mario World in one sitting? Get back here. Oh, that's another Yoshi death. It did. It really did. I mean, make no mistake, there was a lot of terrible stuff on Newgrounds, but there were some really good gems. Ah, damn it. That guy. Okay. 4 over here. There we go. Don't want that. What you're intended to do to get up to that door is to get those block boos to come over here. It's a lot simpler with a cape feather. God damn it. There we go. Took way more time than it should have. This is also, I think, it's one of 2 ghost houses in the game that only has 1 exit. The other ghost house that only has 1 exit is in Vanilla Dome. Right, Chocolate Island. And what we're going to go for first is Chocolate Secret. This level's weird. It has a time-based mechanic to determine which exit you get. Ugh. You. Yep, 2 of those. And let's get the chocolate secret. And again, we can see the Valley of Bowser. Welcome to Chocolate Secret. For footballs. They'll kill you. I end up with a concussion that the NFL will deny was anything to do with football. Was that too real? That's probably fine. Whee! Wronged by a football. I think if you used it in the right context, wronged could be very sinister. Now for these. Nice. Get out of here. These guys are actually called Charging Chucks. They wear football gear, but a lot of the time you'll see them doing stuff that isn't football. I think the football variety is actually one of the least common of them. Most common, you'll see them throwing baseballs. But they'll also kick footballs, whistle to awaken the Rip Van Fishes in that one level, and in later levels they will dig up rocks. That was Chocolate Secret. So the method you use to get to the other exit in this level is, it's all time. And so what I do is I generally spend a specific amount of time killing all the enemies here and getting all the coins. Guarantee that I will get the other exit. Well, there's an interesting thing, like if you do Special World, it changes the colour palette of the entire world. The idea is that it changes from summer to autumn. And Chocolate Island becomes green. So it could be Mint Chocolate Island. Ah, shit. That was not necessary. I guess the question, though, Ninja, is how willing are you to eat a piece of rock to find out if it's chocolate? There we go. I think we have every exit so far. But I'm pretty concerned we're going to get to the end of the game and it's going to be like 94. Sounds questionable. Maybe you can solve the mystery of who keeps putting mud in the freezer. Who wants chocolate ice cream? Oh, jeez. Welcome back, Clem. Do you want chocolate ice cream? Why is it like we're over 2 weeks into this fucking lockdown and I haven't actually sat down and watched Simpsons yet? Like, why has that not been a thing I've done yet? To be fair, I deliberately stopped myself there from laughing further. I didn't want another case of, the Jackbox incident. I didn't want another case of the Jackbox incident, where I laughed hard enough it actually hurt my head. I've not seen that episode of Simpsons in years. I started watching the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina the other day. It was alright. I'll probably go back and watch more of it, more out of obligation than anything, I guess. Yeah, that's a fair point. I mean, there's a reason why I never book off, like, more than a week from work at a time. Chocolate Fortress. Hey girl, come take a look inside my Chocolate Fortress. Oh. Yay. Pretty much. All I care about is when does it end and when can I start going back to work. Still being paid at the minute, which, you know, is pretty fortunate. But who knows how long that'll continue for, and, you know, I just want to be allowed out of the fucking house. The weather's been really nice lately, and I'm actually getting a little bit of cabin fever being stuck in the house all the damn time. I wouldn't mind going for a walk. Yeah, pretty much. It's a little worrying for me since I have asthma and I'm considered at risk. Otherwise, I'd just take it as we're allowed out for exercise for like an hour a day. But like, do I want to risk it? Bam. Bam. Yeah. That's right, protect me with your lives. There is the case, like, okay, we're gonna die eventually, and I'm kind of okay with that sometimes. But there are better ways to die than of the coronavirus. Like, seriously. Supposed to die in battle 20 years from now against Godzilla. 20 years? What year is it? It just says it's 2020. 16 years from now. Ah, you fucking mega moles. Smaller ones are monsters, the bigger ones are megas. Mega mole. Knew you were gonna do that, you dick. "16 years from now, I'll be locked in battle with Godzilla." Weirdly enough, not in Tokyo. Those big loaves of bread. Big chunky loaves of bread. Actually, my secret origin story, I'm actually the larval form of Mechagodzilla. I still need to see Shin Godzilla. I need to see the second. I need to see Godzilla King of Monsters as well. I heard critics were complaining about it having too many monster fights, and I'm like, shit, that's what I wanted from the first movie. Does it have more monster fights and less kick-ass? Yeah, I should watch Shin Godzilla. I'm there for the monster fights. You ever see Godzilla Final War? Final Wars? It was like 2002 it came out. It's fucking awesome. Oh, you should totally watch it and enjoy it. It's amazing. It's one of my favourite Godzilla movies, mostly because it's not... It doesn't get bogged down in... shit. King of the Monsters. Yes. Godzilla Final War doesn't get bogged down in not having monster fights. Yeah, I really wish they'd stop trying to do the human plot. I don't care about the humans. It was the really awkward thing about I think it was the 2014 Godzilla movie. It's like, okay, you've got one human character I actually care about because he has a reason to be there, and he's played by Bryan Cranston, actually putting in a good performance. Then they kill him off. Damn. Like, then they kill him off, and the guy who played Kick-Ass has to carry the rest of the movie. And I just don't care. Oh no, he has to get home to his wife. I don't care. They knew exactly what they were doing with that movie as well. When Godzilla comes out of the ocean in Hawaii, and they specifically do the full frontal shot, and then cut away from it, and don't show you the actual fight, and it's like, you know what, fuck you. That said, that Godzilla movie also had like one of the hypest moments in Godzilla. I wasn't overly into the wife as a character either. Like, seriously though, that has like one of the hypest moments in Godzilla history. It's like, oh no, Godzilla's disappeared, and one of the giant monsters is staring down Kick-Ass. Because I don't remember what the character was actually called. And it's like, what's that blue light in the background? And then more blue lights appear, and you realise, holy shit, it's Godzilla's spines, and he's charging his atomic radioactive breath. And it's fucking awesome. That's one of the hypest moments in Godzilla. Bad idea. To be fair, I don't think any of the human characters in that movie were worth a damn. Beyond Bryan Cranston's character, who we could sympathise with. And Ken Watanabe, who basically existed in the movie so they could have an Asian person say stuff about Godzilla. No, it's actually like 5, Ninja. We've died in this level 3 times. Like, Ken Watanabe existed in that movie entirely so they could have an Asian person talk about Godzilla. His character had no other purpose. Which is a shame, because Ken Watanabe is actually a good actor. You say be badass, but he doesn't really do anything. Oh, got you there. Gotcha. He says let them fight. I should do the PS4 Godzilla game at some point. I've got it and I've not really done much with it. It wasn't great, it controlled really poorly. Yeah, there's a Godzilla game on PS4. It has the 2014 Godzilla in it. There's a bunch of stuff. It's really dedicated to being Godzilla. Like, there's a bunch of monsters in it from all over. There's a lot of effort put into making it feel like Godzilla. The problem is, the way they've made it feel like Godzilla is, it's not. It's really slow and clunky. It's interesting, it's just not very good. And if you're actually after a decent Godzilla game, to play, I would recommend probably Destroy All Monsters Melee on GameCube. Because that's actually pretty good, and it's like a 4-player multiplayer fighting game. A 3D arena fighting game. Fuck. There's also Godzilla Save the Earth, which has more monsters than Destroy All Monsters Melee. Like, you play as all of them. You can play as all of them, it's great. Am this right? There it is. Oh, I feel like I don't normally do this with Yoshi. Yeah, if you got some friends and a GameCube and a few controllers, Destroy All Monsters Melee is a good time. Or Save the Earth on Xbox. It might be on PS2. Come on. Yeah, never mind. Yeah, it's kind of fun. I actually have War of the Monsters on my PS4, which is a PS2 game in mostly the same vein, but it's like non-copyright monsters. It's also pretty fun. Alright, here we go. I miss the PS2 era. Like PS2, Xbox, GameCube. There was just so much fun stuff that publishers were willing to put out for like £20. They didn't have to be great games because they were like £20. Who gave a fuck? You could play them, you could have a bunch of fun with them. They'd be like a 6 out of 10. But you pay £20, so like, who cares? 6 out of 10 for £20 brand new? Great. You just don't do that anymore. Every game these days has to be a solid at least 8. It has to be open world, it has to be 100 hours long. Otherwise, who cares? Get back here, you prick. It's not that interesting. Yeah, I disagree with that, Ninja. I think it's the problem, the big mindset of the game industry these days. I mean, I said it before, I said it within the last week, but like, I'd rather have a 5-hour game that is jam-packed with awesome than a 20-hour game that is boring as shit for 3/4 of it. Yeah, I don't get how people are so into stuff like Assassin's Creed anymore. I used to be into Assassin's Creed. It was kind of interesting. The last one I finished was Syndicate. But to be fair, part of that was because of its specific setting. People are hating on RE3 because it's short. I think that's entirely the point. It doesn't overstay its welcome, and it's not padded out in a desperate attempt to make it hit 30 hours. No, they didn't cut stuff out, they replaced stuff with other stuff. Yeah, no, fuck this, I'm taking that. And that immediately ends the level. And now we have to go back to get the other exit. It's like, they didn't cut stuff out, they replaced it with other stuff. And like, how do I feel about that? It's like, okay, a little disappointed that the Dead Factory is replaced with another lab. Honestly. But that's just from an aesthetic point of view. I think the Dead Factory was an interesting difference from the labs of RE1 and 2. I don't really care that the park is gone. I'm not overly bothered that Gravedigger's gone. Alright. I'm just glad I had a Yoshi with me because I don't want to do this twice. The Yoshi was the problem there. Well, in original RE3, I can kind of understand it a little more than if they did it in RE3 Remake. Because original RE3 has the zombie outbreak already going on. RE3 Remake felt like the city was okay until like 20 minutes before the start of the game. That said, I guess that kind of messes with the idea. It's like, Jill's like, oh yeah, no, 3 more days and I can leave this town. Meanwhile, the power plant has been completely overtaken by the Drain Demos. Actually thinking about that feels kind of weird to me. Because the Drain Demos didn't just happen in like 5 minutes. Oh no, fuck the Drain Demos, definitely. But like, it's not a power plant, it's a substation, I'm thinking. But like, that kind of growth, that nest they built, doesn't happen in the space of 5 minutes. I guess it's just that the start feels kind of incongruous with the rest of it. Specifically, Jill's idea that she'll leave the place in like 3 days. The rest of it's fine. Because like, if we go with that, the UBCS, while Jill was thinking that, the UBCS would have already been putting people into the subway cars. It's probably the big disconnect that RE3 Remake has against original RE3. Because RE3 starts, and then you get into the warehouse, and an unknown amount of time passes. And the monsters have taken over the city. And I feel like some kind of time skip like that would have probably done the opening for RE3 Remake some good. Well, they try. The Crushers in this game are probably the most menacing they've ever been. Like, they brought them back in the new Super Mario Bros. Games, and, like, made them all fancy and rotating and everything. Fully 3D modelled. They're not as menacing as they are here. Well, the originals didn't really try to save anyone. It's kind of the... Thinking about it, it's kind of a weird thing. Like, yeah, we were sent in to rescue you, civvies. And you see you see the corpse of the UBCS guy with the girl in the clock tower. And then that's kind of it. It's like not everybody could have been a supervisor. It's a wonderful number, Carlos. So clean and round. Empty, and yet full of possibility. There's Bowser's back door. We're not going in there because it sounds kinda nasty. Last ghost house of the game. Grab that. Okay. So this ghost house is probably the worst secret exit in the game. I'm getting this. Can't believe I got that. That's not the secret exit. I say worst secret exit, probably, like, definitely one of the most fiddly secret exits. Okay, here we go again. I go again on my own. Down the only road I've ever known. As a drifter, I was born to walk alone. Made up my mind. I ain't wasting no more time. Okay, so the trick here is... not this. Although, if I can do the crouch flight... Damn. There it is. Oh, damn it. Yeah, give it one more shot. Yeah, I need you guys to fuck off. Oh, I had it. Not that. Come on. Very precise. Alright, you know what, we're doing this the proper way. So the actual trick is to... not die. Try that again. Trouble is the cape. It's the flight. But I will need the flight later. What I'm going to do is switch to the fire flower for the minute. Okay, there we go. So we need one of these doors. I'm going to assume 2. It isn't number 2. Try that again. Fuck. There we go, my headphones got plugged. Not entirely sure how, I didn't really move. Okay. Number 1. Not number 1. Yes, we tried 1 and 2. Go with number 3 next. Two, 3. Not what we're after. Is it the one all the way at the end? Hmm. Hmm. We go again. Okay, do the jump. Didn't have enough speed. Damn it. Try all the way at the end. We're dropping frames. That's awkward. Like, really badly. Is something eating my bandwidth? Hmm. This is irritating. Yes, we're just gonna sit here until the bandwidth, till the upload rate is better and we stop dropping frames. Weird how long it took the broadcast badge to show up. Hmm. Yeah, Oof is pretty right. We're not managing to get above Meg. You see about closing the stream and restarting it. And it's having trouble starting. Really typical. Hmm. Just came out of nowhere. Again? Okay, we're back. We're immediately dropping frames. That's not good. What about now? Starting with live and... Yep, no, there go the frames. Hmm. What if I close some stuff? You haven't got anything open that we don't usually have open. And the stream is actually running pretty well until a few minutes ago. Okay, it seems like we're doing better now. That was weird, we got hit pretty bad for a few minutes. We head over here. There we go, take care of that. You coming through okay now, guys? Seems like we are. Not dropping frames anymore. Awesome. Right, let's continue with this hell ghost house then. Alright, thanks guys. Ah! Forgot about that one again. At least that means we can continue Mario World. Yeah, I didn't want you guys to miss anything, so I kept it paused. This is what we're after. Okay, so we need that, and then... Okay, and now we'll see how this will go. Okay, and... close. So now basically what we do is... crouch float in there. Bam. And that's a shortcut. Yeah, Bowser 3. This, I think this is the one with the time platforms, it is. Alright. Interesting concept. I think Mega Man did more with them. Although I say that, I'm thinking, I think specifically of the bomb platforms in like Mega Man 4. Which were just platforms with timers on them, but they didn't move. Almost. Yeah, I'm glad we didn't have to cancel the rest of the Mario World stream, because I would have lost my motivation with that. Yeah. Alright. Home stretch, baby. Except not really. Yeah, but this wouldn't be that day. Not this way, at least. Like, no, I want to get through Mario World. We've gone this far with it. Oh, that reminds me, we actually need Yoshi to get the secret exit in this level. Gotta be careful with that. Boom. We need Yoshi to grab that through the wall. And that leads us to the final Star Road. Which means this should be the last 2 exits on the overworld. Or like outside of Star Road at least. Alright, going up. Okay. Yay! And we should be pretty much there now. That. Come on. Popping at him. I misjudged. But we are there now. Awesome. Final castle. Harry. Brings back the platform. Would have been happier with the crushers. Fuck. Ah, yeah. That would have been way more convenient if I'd made that. I've been thinking about doing Ocarina of Time again for the stream. I found a ROM hack called Better Ocarina of Time that cuts out like a lot of the cutscenes, which is really appealing to me because like all the cutscenes and stuff, all the text boxes that you can't skip, are like my biggest problem with going through Ocarina again. Because it just takes so long. Might see about doing that. Fuck. A bit fun. Today, Magic Koopa. Spawn, you bastard. Terrible place to spawn, bastard. I'm just gonna spawn all over the place. No, we streamed Ocarina last year. Ah, shit. I don't remember when exactly. Around August-ish, maybe? Fuck off, you. Feather! Really? Never played a Zelda game? You got a Super Nintendo, Link to the Past's a good place to start. Or just emulate it. Last Castle Destruction. Get out of here. Fun fact before we go, you think you can't get back into these castles, and for years I didn't think you could. But go onto them and press L and R, and you can go right back into them. Did not know about that until a couple of years ago. But that is every every level on the overworld. Now we're heading to Star Road. We're going to start with the final level. Do this. This is actually way easier with the blue Yoshi. But then again, most of the game is way easier with the blue Yoshi. Okay. Okay, and now we press the switch, and we just run along here. And we're gonna get the standard exit first. Bada bing. But the special world is where you generally find all the coloured Yoshis. I say coloured, there's only 4 that exist in this game. I think, no, it was Yoshi's Island that introduced all the different colours. I was gonna say, I think it's Super Mario Sunshine, but it's not, it's Yoshi's Island. Thank you, Yoshi. Want to actually move over here. Bit of advice. When you've got the cape feather and you spin here, don't constantly move to the side. Because it will kill you. And I will probably show that off in a minute, actually. This level you can get a red Yoshi from. The Yoshis all intrinsically have the abilities of the same colored Koopas. The green Yoshi will just... The green Yoshi doesn't have any special abilities. The red Yoshi, every shell that you eat, you'll spit out as fire. The blue Yoshi, every shell you eat, you'll be able to fly. The yellow Yoshi, every shell you eat, you'll do a stomp. What I'm gonna do, actually, is, I'm gonna save this, and I'm gonna show you guys, what I'm talking about here. Yeah, and then just keep moving to the side. This will be the better place for it. Got kind of fortunate there, we didn't end up going inside the wall. Am I not going to be able to show it off now? Probably here. Oh. Basically what happens is, because of the way you fly down so fast like that, you will essentially end up inside the wall. Let's see if I can do it. There. Here. Okay, down a couple and then just keep moving left. No, I didn't pull it off. But anyway, the way it works is you end up... I don't need you anyway. You end up, like, flying. You get pushed down because you see the blocks don't spin for that long. You end up getting caught in them and being pushed further down and to the side. And it is really easy to get pushed inside a wall where you're immediately registered as crushed. You let a baby Yoshi eat a star and they immediately grow up. Kind of a shame I couldn't show that off after I went to the effort to make a save state for it. It depends on what you feed them. Sometimes it can take a while to grow up. And how much you feed them. It's how kids work. Feed them a lot, they'll grow up a lot faster. The secret exits for Star World are actually some of the easiest to find. in the game. Because they're intended as the way forward, they're actually not really well hidden. If you get to the block in the middle here before your star runs out, you'll get another star. But if you don't, you get a coin. Yep. I'm not gonna catch that Yoshi. Yeah, word of advice for you aspiring parents out there, if you want your kids to grow up quicker, just keep feeding them. Oh, they're full, feed them more. You know, I feel like you might have missed some Yoshi deaths there. Yeah, it's worth grabbing another blue Yoshi. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. That's what Yoshi's there for. Yeah, you know, one of the best parts of the stream when we have a good conversation. Actually, I want to do it over here. Yes. There we go. That way we knock him off the cloud, but the cloud is still intact. You jump on him, the cloud dissipates. I've been thinking about getting a subscription to the WWE Network lately. I'm watching some of the classic wrestling matches. I don't know if I'd really watch that much though, like enough to justify it. And they're all like, yeah, no, it's got every episode of Raw and SmackDown and Nitro and that other show WCW made when it was pretty obvious that they were gonna lose the war. It's like, it's cool. But those shows are like 3 hours long each. Well, that's the thing, like, you go with the Attitude Era, there are so many highlights. You go outside the Attitude Era, there are still a lot of highlights. There we go, that's what we're after. Like, we all love the Attitude Era, it's fantastic, but, there have been some fantastic matches both before and since. WWE, for a lot of reasons, is kinda shit at the minute. It has been for several years now. But every now and then, there'll be a really good match. I mean, hell, the women's division is kind of better than it's ever been. There are women in there who are there to actually wrestle, not just look good. Jeez, mid-2000s WWE was terrible for that. It's like, yeah, and now we have a women's match. It's like, great. I guess we're just... I guess nothing interesting is going to be happening for like the next 10 minutes then. Why? Because these aren't female wrestlers, they're models. These are women who aren't interested in learning to wrestle. There were exceptions. Most notably Trish Stratus and Lita. Yeah, the bra and panties match, jeez. Like there was such a long period where the women matches in WWE were just absolute garbage. But now they've got women who are there to wrestle. And they're so much better. A lot of the time, they're the best matches. On. Yeah, we made it. Went too far. No! I'm gonna have to put some effort into this. Yeah, that was a specific match type, the bra and panties match. It's like, yeah, okay, cool. You've got some hot women in your Divas lineup, WWE. Stacy Keibler, very attractive woman. Tori Wilson, very attractive, but these aren't wrestlers. And I'm watching a wrestling show for wrestling. Not for you to show a bunch of models off. A-okay. Probably gonna be simpler this way, actually. I mean, I guess that's really it. I'm watching wrestling for wrestling. I'm not there to see America's Next Top Model. But the women's matches nowadays are way better. WWE still has no idea how to actually market them. And I wish they'd push Ronda Rousey less. It's like, yeah, great, Ronda Rousey's found her niche after leaving the leaving the UFC. And it's wrestling. It's like, great, good for her. But you know, there are other female wrestlers. Alright, here we go. But then again, you know, that's the problem with WWE. They just keep pushing one person way too much. Welcome to Special World. The 8 hardest levels of the game. And I actually want a blue Yoshi. It's like WWE had the whole thing where they were pushing Roman Reigns so hard for years. Like pushing Roman Reigns as the face of the company for years, and it wasn't good. Now they're trying to push Brock Lesnar. You kind of think back to the days when it's like, remember when the top personalities in WWF had personalities? God damn it. There we go. That'd been a bad idea. Yeah, it's fine. So you'll remember when the top personalities had personality. Back off. Thankfully, Special World has no secret exits. There was a thing. This is probably like the hardest level in the game. Yeah, it wasn't them pushing one person. I think that's a big part of the reason why the Attitude Era is so well remembered. Because there were so many personalities you could really just rally behind. You could be a fan of Stone Cold, you could be a fan of The Rock, you could be a fan of Triple H, Chris Jericho. There were loads. And they were all great. The problem with that level, if you do it normally, is you have to get through all of that on like 3 balloons. Okay. Yeah, that's the worst level of the special world. This level is irritating for a different reason, and that is that it's trial and error. Some of these paths lead you to death, and you don't really have any way of knowing beforehand which ones they'll be. I hope this was right. Yeah, we're okay. Yeah, you just be ready to immediately bail on the level. Oh, that level? Yeah, no, fuck the balloon. That level is a testament to bullshit. It's an exercise in massive patience. Thank you. If a Koopa jumps into a yellow shell, it becomes an Omni Shell. They don't become a yellow Koopa. It becomes an Omni Shell, which has the powers of every shell. Which is really neat. Yeah, here we go. There we go. Yep. Yep. Everything went as planned. It is an exercise in bullshit. It's not a fun level to do the intended method. And I've done it the intended method several times. Recognize this level? Was that the first time we've seen a Pokey in this playthrough? Huh. I didn't realise that I'd missed all the Pokeys. There's interesting programming on the Pokeys. If you have a Yoshi, then the Pokeys will always be 5 tall. If you're not on a Yoshi when they spawn, they'll be 3 tall. It's kind of interesting. Alright, you're only gonna miss the end of Special World. If I'm lucky, I might actually finish the game in 5 to 10 minutes. We'll see. Fuck off, you. You know, if we finish the game in the next 5 to 10 minutes, I think we'll do something else. We'll move on to something else. That'll be fun. I mean, we've got the Super Nintendo Mini set up. There's other shit we can do. On. There it is. Okay. God damn it. Infinite hitbox when they're in the water. Yeah, I'll do. go! God damn it! Yay! Ah, you. See if there's anything in there. It's just a one-up. Wasted my time. I actually really like the last level of Special World. I think it's a bunch of fun. So these things at the bottom are, I think, chompers or something. They will hurt you if you are not on Yoshi, but Yoshi can just walk over them. You can guarantee a lot of ROM hacks use them, because you can't spin jump on them. It's probably worth mentioning that Super Mario World ROM hacks are some of those bullshit ROM hacks you'll ever see. There's a whole genre of Super Mario ROM hacks that are specifically about being bullshit. They're called the Kaizo Marios. They are not fun. You know, this is probably the last real challenge in the game. This level. Fuck. Fuck. But the only time the bullet bills are a real threat. Just because of how many of them there are. Okay. Come on. This could get nasty. Yep. Couldn't jump high enough. Damn. Alright, round 2. This is not a good level to go into without anything. Take this. I'm gonna keep this, actually. There we go. Yo. Thank you. Jump on you. 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 And then we jump on you. And you. And then you. And that was perfect. Oh, it was almost really good. Yep. Shit. Wait, no, careful. Not there yet. There we go. That should make things a little more comfortable. Ooh, shit. Oh, God. You gonna call bullshit there? I took damage from the Wiggler while on the Yoshi. That is a glitch. The idea is, while you're on a Yoshi, if you take damage, the Yoshi runs away. But I took damage and went from Super Mario to regular Mario. And that is a glitch. And I think that's actually the first time that glitch has ever happened to me. I've seen it happen before. It's never happened to me. This isn't gonna go anywhere near as well this time. It didn't. Okay. I'm on Yoshi. Can do this. Mushroom. Hit. Yep. This Wiggler. Take care of it before it becomes a problem. There's the exit. That is probably the final challenge of Special World. Got through Special World relatively painlessly, actually. This final level is actually pretty fun. We start with 200 seconds on the clock, which is less than usual. The green berries that you see there only exist in this level, and they add time back to the timer. And the idea is, like, you just keep getting time back with them. Welcome back, Ninja. Yeah, the idea is you keep eating them, and you get time back. It's actually not that difficult to beat this level without getting any of them. Go. That's right, Star. Damn it, I was hoping that'd be a mushroom. Coming through. Damn. Most. Fuck you. Not today, charging. Fuck. Later, taters. You are a super player! Yeah! Special World done. And for that, the entire world map changes. Like I said, the idea is supposed to be it goes from summer to autumn. We're going to take the shortcut through Star Road because I'm not walking through the entire world map again. You know what? I'm going back to a top secret area. This used to give me a headache as a kid. Like, the bright orange colours used to give me a headache consistently as a kid. Gonna just not look at the screen while it's on there because that is a lot big and bright. I'm playing this in the dark. Final level. Bowser's front door. One, 2, 3, 4. Pick a number, guys. Yeah, it's weird how Autumn showed up like 3 hours into the stream though. 7's on the other side, Ninja. If you want 7, you'll have to wait until the next part. Only 1 to 4 here. Number 2. Do this. Which one's number 2? It isn't underwater, that's all. That's A-okay. The next section is 5 to 8. Yeah, no, that was actually probably the easiest one, Ninja. And since you said 7, we're gonna go with 7 now. The back door, if you go through the back door, you skip the first part and go straight to 5 to 7. Do you, or do you just come in this area? I don't remember. It's been a while since I've done the back door. Shit. Love that slowdown. Here it is. What I would say is probably the most menacing Bowser sprite. Okay, let's do this. Mode 7. I think it's probably the most menacing Bowser has ever looked. I don't like the design of Peach in this game, honestly. Or Toadstool at this point, this is before they call her Peach. Go for that. That might catch you off guard the first time. But this is also where the clown car for Bowser comes from, that Nintendo has been using a lot more in recent years. Peach looks worse when you get a proper look at her in the credits. The clown car was... I think this was Bowser's vehicle in at least one of the Mario Kart games. I think the most recent appearance of it is in Smash. Bowser Jr. and the Koopalings are in the clown car. Hey, come on. Nice. Super Mario World, everybody. And now we get one of my favourite credits themes in gaming. The Super Mario World credits theme is fantastic. Thank you, Clem. Look like she had a beard. Thank you. I'm just hoping we'll see the 96 star when we reset it. You stayed up all night and missed the day of school. Your hopes were so high, so much was in store. I forget the fucking words. Brental Floss, if anybody remembers him, putting lyrics to video game songs. His song, Classic Credits with Lyrics, was this song. It was Super Mario Brothers credits, Super Mario World credits. Specifically about how old games, you'd beat them, and the endings would be completely unsatisfying. I really hope we actually got the 96 star. If we've not got 96 star, I have no idea where the missing exit will be. That transition from in-game sprite to this cutscene sprite for Yoshi is really creepy. And now we get the roll call. And since we did Special World, we won't see stuff like the Koopas. We'll see the altered forms that you get for... like that jumping pumpkin plant is the piranha plant. Because all the enemies have different forms in the autumn side. Or most of them do. Like you get Pidgeot instead of Bullet Bill. Not all of them, there's a few enemies that do. Kind of exaggerating, I guess. I like knowing the names of enemies. It's something that kind of disappoints me. See, the Koopas, instead of wearing shells, wear Mario masks. It's something that kind of disappoints me with Wind Waker and Twilight Princess compared to Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. I liked being able to target enemies and learn the names. Yeah, basically every shell in the game is replaced with one of the masks. This is probably how people feel in Metroid when they do 100% runs and they're just waiting for the credits to end, really hoping they actually hit 100%. And that's the end. And because this is an old game, nothing we can do to get off this screen. We have to turn the system off or reset it. Okay, so let's start again. Come on, baby, give me that 96 star. Yes! 3 96 stars. It was good. I enjoyed that. What else do we got? Super Metroid. Some of the stuff on here is really kind of weird. turning the game off is the only satisfaction. The latest game I remember being like that is Majora's Mask. Like, some of the games on here are a weird choice, like Contra 3, cool. Cool. Reasonable. Fair enough. Would have liked Chrono Trigger though. Like, if I had a choice between this and Chrono Trigger, Chrono Trigger. Cool. Really? Nice. Nice. I guess. Kinda neatly included that. This is the first release of this. It's on the Switch online service now. This was the first time Star Fox 2 was released. I'm not into Street Fighter 2, but you know, kind of neat that it's on here. It's a very important game historically. Awesome. Really? I guess. Okay. Again, would have preferred Chrono Trigger. Of course, of course. Of course. Nice. All in all, a better list than is on the PlayStation Classic. And of course I have actually hacked it to put more stuff on it. Ooh, Bahamut Lagoon. There's Chrono Trigger. And DKC 2 and 3, Fire Emblem, Front Mission. Youth Troop's actually a really fun co-op game. There's one of Bane's favourite games. I did Zombies Ate My Neighbours for Halloween, actually. There's always an intention of mine to do Zombies Ate My Neighbours like every Halloween. Ace, Professor, how you doing, buddy? Lufia, Magical Quest, Ninja Gaiden Trilogy, Ninja Warriors Ogre Battle, Parodius, Romancing Saga, Run Saber's a lot of fun, Secret of Evermore is underrated, Seiken Densetsu 3, Shin Megami Tensei 1, 2, and If, Mario All-Stars, Smash TV, because seriously, Smash TV. There's Fantasia, Mihara Kawase, Warriors Woods, Zombies Ate My Neighbours. You had to hack it. It's actually incredibly simple. You just need a program called HackChi, and then you plug it into your computer via USB. Oh, Clem, if you're really into Mega Man, you should try Rockman 4 Minus Infinity. It's a really good ROM hack. The Super Nintendo Mini has very limited space, and anything you put on it is going to add to that space. Game Boy Advance games are probably the biggest. I should do Fire Emblem one of these days. Or Pokemon. Did we start Pokemon? And then Game Boy Color. Game Boy Color. There it is, Resident Evil Gaiden. Metal Gear Solid game that nobody really remembers. They need to do these 3 games at some point. You know what? I think I'm gonna go on a quick bathroom break, and we'll be right back.